It's it's a postmaster certificate program, so it's for people who are already practicing acupuncturists, and it's a 9-month program that specializes in women's health. It's the only place in the country that has a comprehensive program that's going to address all of the needs of women through her entire life cycle. A lot of graduates have asked for it, and Thai Sophia is actually responding to a request from graduates to give them more around women's health, and in particular how to support women who are having a hard time with their menstrual cycles and getting pregnant. And in pregnancy, practitioners want to know how to support patients who are pregnant and how to help them through the birth process and all the changes that occur after delivery with breastfeeding and in their own identity and becoming a mother. And then the changes that come later in life when a woman enters menopause and comes to a whole other rite of passage with menopause and aging. And then we incorporated a unique unit which is on reproductive oncology, which will help practitioners with how to work with women who are dealing with cancer in their reproductive organ. You know, Thai Sophia is unique already because it's the first school in the entire country that's ever been an accredited school for acupuncture training. Now we're taking it to the next level, and we're offering postgraduate training and certification for practitioners. After they get out, they can return to the Institute and learn more about the areas that they have a special interest in. Thai Sophia is unique in that we're offering all kinds of postgraduate programs now. First of all, there are lots of good courses on infertility or pregnancy or any one of the areas I described. For me, I think a metaphor that I could use that may be helpful to practitioners who have this same question would be to say, you know, we understand things best when we place it in the context of the whole. The 5 elements, each element is unique in its own right, and they are still part of the whole. And when we see and understand each of the elements as they relate to the whole, we have a whole new dimension and depth of understanding. And the same is true for the life cycle. There are all these unique changes that happen for every one of us when we come into our adolescent years, and then when we come into, you know, the time of relationship and marriage and partnership, and maybe the choice of having children, adopting children, or carrying a pregnancy and the changes that come with that, or if it's difficult, the experience of finding out I can't get pregnant, what's this about, and learning, you know, how to empower women and teaching them about the laws of nature and how to support their own bodies and their own, you know, psyche around that process. And then the changes that come when we do enter motherhood, and that's a whole nother rite of passage. And then aging and menopause, which I've heard called saging, which I think is a wonderful reframe of the changes that happen. All of these changes are an experience of a woman's life as a whole. So when I do a TD, I may ask a woman, you know, tell me what your periods were like. How old were you? When did they begin? Tell me what it was like when you were pregnant. How was it trying to get pregnant? Or how was your menopause? And I often find there are common themes for that woman. She may be coming to me 10 years post-menopause, like she's come through that change, and there are still places that she's not feeling harmony or ease in her being, and we can track it back to, you know, 8 or 9 years old and the changes that happened to her when she was pre-pubescent, and then what happened when she came into her menstrual cycle. When we see it in the context of the whole, we start to see a whole nother dimension to who that woman is. There is a commitment. It's a 9-month program. Participants will be coming to Thai Sophia once a month for either a 2 or 3 day weekend. At the end of the 9 months, they'll receive their full certification and graduate from the program. It's a commitment to yourself. Whatever we're passionate about, whatever we love, if we put our energy into that, we often bear fruit. And it's a calling. You know, working in women's health is a calling, and no one can answer that for us. We have to answer that for ourselves and dig inside and find out, is this my Tao? Is this what I'm here to deliver and serve, the form in which I'm meant to serve as a practitioner? It's a commitment to yourself. It's to say, you know, I am passionate about my work and my interest in women's health, and I am going to dedicate 2 to 3 days every single month toward my desire to be the best practitioner I can be and serve women in the way that I want to serve women. It's no accident that it's once a month on a cyclical basis. Women have a cycle of their own, and we're working with that same resonance and saying consistently, we are going to support you in your interest in working with women. And if your passion is around women's health, this will support that passion. You'll be receiving guidance and mentoring consistently from seasoned practitioners who love their work, who are very experienced in working with women's issues from puberty all the way through the life cycle, and with special needs when reproductive oncology issues come up. Many of them are known on an international level. They have lectured in Sweden and Switzerland and England. They're authors of books. They're clinical supervisors. They're faculty members at Thai Sophia or faculty members at other well-renowned schools across the country. Diane Giosio, Jane Grismer, Robin Johnson, Kaya Larson, Evan Rabinowitz, Dr. Marianne Rothschild, Tracy Bird, Antoinette Fumas, Time Gelati, Christine Lee, Rose Truby Sharf, Diane Connolly, Judith Dirk, Donna Keefe, Randine Lewis, Rebecca Wilkinson, Dr. Joseph Ostroff, Linda Simons. Yours truly, the program manager. I'm really the midwife. You know, I'm so excited to have each and every one of the members of the faculty who are part of this program. They're all so gifted in their own right. They all bring their own unique experience. They have different areas of interest and specialization, and what they all have in common is they want to serve and do the best job they can for women's health, and they all love sharing what they know. So when you show up for the weekend, it's going to be a full weekend. So we'll be having fun. There'll be a lot of experiential work, and there will be a lot of information that will be imparted. We'll get a lot of mentoring. They're willing to work hands-on with patients who may be brought in. You'll get immediate feedback that you can put into your practice Monday morning when you go back to your work. It will be nourishing in terms of collegiality. You'll make new friends. You'll make new connections professionally, and you'll be supporting your peers in realizing their dreams. And I think one thing that's really noteworthy about this will be the first class. There will be no other first class. There will be no other first class. These are going to be pioneers who are a little bold and brave, and they're going to step into the unknown, not really sure what this is going to show up, how it's going to show up, what it's going to be like. And that is part of what breaks new ground in a new field. So the first module will be in the foundations of women's health and wellness. The nature of that course is going to be about exploring the nature of yin, actually learning more about the feminine and as a general concept, and learning about our own inner feminine and how to nurture that, and then in turn, how do we bring that out and use that to serve and empower our patients to understand the nature of the feminine. So from that place, we're going to move into the anatomy and the physiology of women from a Western and an Eastern medical perspective. So we're beginning with health. What does it look like in balance? What is the nature, the mysterious nature? It's a very mysterious quality, cyclical nature of women that, you know, it needs to be resurrected and understood in a way that's embraced and supported. So we're going to start there and start with practices that each woman can implement into her life to support her feminine nature. So then we'll move into the application of Chinese medicine and how to treat women in the clinic. So when there's an imbalance, we'll know how to recognize it, identify it, and create movement and restore harmony in that woman. And we'll apply it directly to specific patients. Then we'll move into exploring how to support women who are struggling with fertility, perhaps, and how to support women who want to get pregnant and maybe having a hard time with that. And then another dimension of that, of course, is when women do get pregnant, all the changes that come with pregnancy. And then, right into the delivery room and empowering practitioners so that they feel comfortable attending women in birth and then supporting them through the transition of postpartum and breastfeeding. So then we move on from childbearing years into perimenopausal years and menopausal years and aging. And we'll review the changes that happen at that rite of passage and how to support women with the physiological changes, the emotional changes that occur at that stage in life. Because there is an underlying theme, an underlying process at work through each of these rites of passage. And that's what's so rich about putting it in the constellation of the whole. It's a life journey, what that woman is going through. When you come out of this program, you are going to feel confident about your understanding of the nature of the yin and the nature of women, the unique nature of women. You will have a very comprehensive understanding of how to work with women through the entire cycle of her life. You will feel very secure in your knowledge about GYN health, in your knowledge about fertility, your knowledge about pregnancy, about that rite of passage of becoming a mother and what that means for a woman on all levels in body, mind, and spirit. And you'll feel confident in your understanding of what happens to women when they come into their menopausal years. What's happening on all levels? How is their body speaking to them? How are their emotions speaking to them? What are their body signals and emotions trying to tell them and call them back to restore balance? To have an experience of wholeness, no matter where they are in their life cycle. I really do see the graduates of this program as being among the pioneers in the field of healthcare as it's known today. The graduates of this program are going to feel confident of their knowledge in women's health. They'll feel confident about their ability to interface with practitioners from all different domains. I think it will be a valued credential. We have faculty who have worked with women who have had all forms of cancer in the reproductive systems. So they're already working in hospital settings, many of them, or they're working in their own offices with women who have had breast cancer, cervical cancer, uterine cancer, ovarian cancer. And they're experienced in lots of ways. They're experienced as practitioners. The people who are participating in this program, they're already practitioners. They're not just putting their foot in the water, finding out is this for them. They're already in practice. And so what they're bringing to the classroom as practitioners is very impressive. I mean, I've reviewed many of the applications, and these are very experienced practitioners. So the conversation will be rich, it will be deep, it will be enlightening, from the students as well as the faculty, and they're just answering to the call in their hearts. I love that. The program starts March 31st, and it will run over a 9-month period. We'll finish up in November 2012. If you're interested in the program, you can either Google www.tai.edu. What you'll be looking for is the Postmaster's Certificate Program in Women's Holistic Health. We're eligible for financial aid, so if you need financial support in order to enroll, you can talk with John Gay at Tai Sophia, and you can contact our admissions office, who will walk you through the steps and what you need to do to apply. So contact the admissions office at 410-888-9048. Do it now.